here comes the communist! Welcome!
Break down capitalism? What do we eat during the revolution?
They're just a to capitalism and they're brainwashed. I hate my stupid, racist, xenophobic ancestors who set up this fucking system.
Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel. We're going to be taking a look at some communist TikToks. So Brad, do you want to tell us what you do here on YouTube?
Yeah, Brad Palumbo. I cover all the craziest things on the internet, in politics, and especially in the LGBT community from the perspective of kind of a center-right, moderate perspective of a gay man. But a lot of the stuff you cover, I have a similar take on in terms of alphabet TikTok and also socialist and communist TikTok, which we're going to get into today.
There is so much momentum right now for us to capitalize on to break down capitalism. And I wanted to talk about my view. So hi, I'm Margot. I'm a nutrition professional and I am looking into like how are we going to feed each other and ourselves in order to sustain us through the long haul and make the most impact. So I want to work with other nutrition professionals and come up with some ideas of how we can be utilized during this time and come up with an outline of like what do we eat during the revolution for people to get behind. If you're interested in doing that with me, let me know. Also, if that's something that you're interested in, having, let me know.
Is she trying to grow her business or something?
That's actually not very socialist. I didn't realize that the field of nutrition was like an ideological field that people are using to advance movements. I think if I knew that my nutritionist or nutrition expert I was seeing was like pursuing some ideology or movement or revolution, I'm not sure I would trust their nutrition advice because I feel like that's supposed to be an apolitical field.
No, they can't have that. Everything has to be politicized. Maybe she's not eating right and, she's not getting enough nutrients because something's not working up there. And I think in true communist fashion, in, historically how this would work is that you would have nothing. And then in terms of having a revolution, I mean, for sure, there's going to be some disruption with the production and the distribution of food. But I would like to know some more details about this revolution. Like, are we missing something? Has something been, planned?
They inhabit these echo chambers on TikTok where it's like them and all the other communists talking to each other, and then the comments are all just gassing them up, and then they block anybody in the comments who like points out that their ideas are stupid. So they start to think that this is actually like a widespread mentality just because they see it on TikTok all the time. But like if you actually step outside, it's the kind of thing you only see in two places: TikTok and college campuses.
So next up we have the Bug Fairy, who is very upset. She just wishes she could, take down capitalism and then that would fix all her problems. So let's watch.
All I can ever think about is the fact that this is not the way that life is supposed to be. The whole working your life away just to have a little bit of money, a little bit of free time to do things that you actually enjoy. It's such a waste of life. And the older generation will be the first to call my generation lazy for saying things like that, not realizing that they're just a to capitalism and they're brainwashed. I hate my stupid, racist, xenophobic ancestors who set up this fucking system that sucks for everyone, except for like the 1%. This stupid capitalist society has made it to where no one can do things for themselves anymore because we've been brought up to depend on everything. Grocery stores, restaurants on every corner, a convenience store on every corner because we can't do anything for ourselves and we have no community. All we rely on is people who are getting paid and overworked their whole lives to get things that we need. That's not community. It's all nothing but a capitalist hellscape that sucks the life out of everyone. I just hate all of this. I hate ancestors. I hate everything that has happened throughout history to get us to the point.
What we were talking about on your channel, how people tend to bring up anything and everything and then blame it on capitalism. We reacted to a video of this guy who was talking about segregation right? And how if you're anti-capitalist, you're just like the people that were in favor of segregation, right? It's the same thing here. She goes on a rant about xenophobia and she hates her racist ancestors, doesn't seem to give us a place that she's planning on moving to. I think there's a reason why so many people risk their lives to come to America. And then yet the people born here, they don't tend to, when they make these TikToks, they don't give us a country that they're planning on moving to where communism is working out great.
Like the cost of life really has become just unreasonable and way too expensive in the last couple of years, especially with inflation. But what bothers me is that they blame that on corporate greed or on capitalism, as if those things suddenly started in 2020, right? As if corporations became way greedier between 2019 and 2021. But that makes no sense. In reality, what happened is that in response to the pandemic, the federal government spent trillions of dollars we didn't have and printed it all out of thin air. And now all the prices went up for everything and we're all poorer. So I can have sympathy for them for that, while also like realizing that they're blaming capitalism for
That's
all
not
this.
capitalism.
Those are some of the most anti-capitalist policies I can imagine that are actually to blame, though.
No, for sure. It goes back to blaming everything on capitalism.
This stupid capitalist society has made it to where no one can do things for themselves anymore because we've been brought up to depend on everything.
In the Soviet Union, for example, you would be relying on the government. The government would have all the power to give you everything you need hypothetically, but also take everything away from you.
If you look at the data, the number of hours worked in America on average has only come down. People still work hard. They have long hours. A lot of people have it tough, but it's gotten better, not worse. She acts like capitalism is constantly driving us into more and more backbreaking hours and labor. And that's just not true. And then also she says it's only helped the 1%. Let's talk about that for a second. Because if you think about even a person who's like working class in America, has an iPhone, has Netflix, has a computer, basically has clothes that came from across the world. If you compare them to the richest person in America in 1930, they have a better life. Like they have more luxuries and more technology that those people could only even dream of. So obviously we have inequality. Obviously we have lots of problems. But the idea that our economic system only serves the interests of the 1% when we're all walking around with supercomputers in our pockets because of it has always struck me as really silly.
There's been this trend on TikTok, I don't know if you've seen it, where it's like bed rotting, like rotting in bed, and then like glamorizing just sitting in their bed all day long.
That's a very Gen Z thing, though. They glamorize that laziness and slothishness.
And she's like, oh, and it's always the other generations who are blaming me for being lazy, calling me lazy. No, I'll blame you too. I think that sounds pretty lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's also up to you with how you use technology, right? How long you're spending on your phone. Because I think what's happening, especially among Gen Z, is people have so much free time that they create problems. There aren't as many problems and they have to create it. They feel like they need that excitement. And so they see xenophobia everywhere. They see homophobia everywhere. It's someone misgendered them and it's always something, it's always some problem that they make up because they're bored a lot of the time.
They lack life purpose. And there are a couple things that can give a person life purpose, I think. And one of them is a meaningful career. And that can look different to every other person. It's different based on, what you're passionate about. Another one of them is family, right? Having kids, getting married, these kinds of things, developing deep relationships. But these are both things that Gen Z like casually disparages. And then they complain about how hopeless and lost they feel in life. And I have sympathy for them, but also it's like, it's our generation's own culture and attitudes that's actively disdainful of the things that can actually give you that purpose in life that they constantly complain about not having. So the math it's not mathing for me.
It's the same people who demonize now mothers, like stay-at-home moms who, that's a full-time job right there. They really can be. And so it's about family too for a lot of people to find that fulfillment. It can be about your job for sure. I mean, if you don't have a family, if you don't feel fulfilled with your job, then of course you might go on TikTok and feel the need to talk about how it's all capitalism. If you had more free time, okay, what would you do with that free time? Or if you find a better country, tell us where.
If you're complaining about not having enough free time, I want to see your screen time app on your phone.
Right.
Show us the
No, I'd love
receipts.
to see it.
Because if it's showing 3-4 hours on TikTok, you have free time. You're just wasting it, babe.
The next video is a very similar sort of narrative from a guy's perspective. So let's listen.
It's sick and twisted that I have to work just to survive, just to live my life for basic necessities. Like, I don't want to work until the day I die just to eat and sleep. Basic human necessities, it shouldn't be controversial. And free housing, free healthcare shouldn't be a goddamn pipe dream.
Bold of you to assume this person identifies as a guy, Misha.
I'm so sorry. I might have misgendered him, her, it.
Them.
Oops.
Like, it shouldn't. I can't believe that I have to work to survive. I can't believe anyone thinks they shouldn't have to work to survive.
Right.
Because where do you think that food is coming from, right?
Those people that had to grow those crops and get it to the store and get it to your plate, that they have to contribute to society, that they have to put in the hard work. And then everyone else, they just get it. They don't have to do anything.
Where do you think this free housing is coming from? Somebody built it, somebody planned it, somebody financed it. It's like what you are actually saying when they say this, and you see this all the time in their videos. I should have the ability to survive without having to pay for my necessities. What you're actually saying is that other people should have to work so that you can do nothing. Like, you're actually openly saying that you just want to be a human leech. Do they not see this?
They don't. I think it's the entitlement, it's the narcissism.
If we're talking about people who are truly disabled or handicapped or something, like, you know what, maybe there should be some kind of societal program, maybe it's governmental, maybe it's charity, to help those people because they can't take care of themselves. But as far as I'm concerned, at least, people who are fully capable of taking care of themselves, but simply they're grown, able-bodied adults, and they just don't want to, they just want to live at the expense of others, as far as I'm concerned, y'all can starve. I do not care.
Here comes the communist! Hello, communist! Welcome! Jeffrey Bezos can eat a Here comes the communist! Welcome! Let's hope that universal health care covers indigestion once we eat the rich! Woo!
Okay. Thoughts, Brad?
I don't get the Amazon. First off, I don't think our friend here has a career in music. But
No, I don't think so.
At least
honestly.
he/they/she/it, whatever, has a sense of humor, I guess. I'll give them that. But like a lot of the communists and the socialists, they really hate Amazon and they really hate Jeff Bezos. And I'm like, of all the rich people to revile so heavily, Jeff Bezos is a guy who created an amazing product that millions of people use and benefit from every single day, to have super affordable stuff and an insane variety of options delivered on the same day or the next day.
It has created many, many jobs for many people, warehouse, software engineers, right? Delivery, you name it. So I'm not sure why he gets all the hate. It's always Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he got stupid rich and made billions of dollars, but he did it by creating value for lots of people. So if you were going to pick a rich person to hate, why have so many of them picked him? I really don't get it.
Maybe he got some of the clothes from Amazon. I'm sure he's used Amazon at some point in his
Oh, they
life.
all do. They all use it all the time.
And that's all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and also follow Brad. I will link his channel in the description, so make sure you check him out, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.